Yeah, I'm watching the rise, and I wouldn't say I'm shocked, cause I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride, this one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife, could've left 1,000 times just so by my side. This one's for the grind, I knew it would happen, just had the strength in my mind. To the videos, they thought I was a black guy. That's hard to get over. I'm foreigner in the sport, but I'm fully devoted. I don't take it for granted that the door's been open. I knew I was different, I knew I was chosen. A breadwinner, but I'm soft-spoken. Authentic like a 5950 and there's no cap. Let's have a toast to that. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the They done baptized the bad guy. Still don't follow religion. The fabric's not average, the cotton's Egyptian. 500 for the shoes, come dirty, but the European. Less is more and less is the bank. Up the score, I pull up from trade. From the tray, I'm ballin' like Trey. Do what I can, I do what you can't. I wrote this 30,000 feet up, 10 toes stay G'd up. I'm tryna get that type of wealth, like a house on the hills can't see us. Say the money still me up, stay humble, stay teed up. I don't tell you how to live, so don't hit me with no weak stuff. And if you know the deal, then you know the deal. If it's real, then you know it's real. Toast. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. For the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real.
Hello, squaddies. Happy Monday. How is everyone? Wow, can you believe that it's almost the end of the month, guys and dolls? It's almost the end of the month. Where did the time go? I feel like we've been waiting for this Jubbly, GGB, Jubilee, Giblet. Oh, sorry about the echo there. Jemima, juicy fruit, as I heard one American squaddie call it the other day. I feel like we've been waiting for it forever. Oh my God, let it be over, please. This next week is going to be absolutely exhausting. So please have your protein shakes ready. The protein shakes, your matcha teas, everything. Please be ready. And welcome everyone to the podcast. Please thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 9,000, almost there. Thank you everyone for your support. Let's see who's in the chat today. Black Queen, I see you, girl. Brenda Phillips, hi. Karen's here. Oh, it's Memorial Day in the US. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. My uncultured self does not know what Memorial Day is for. So is that kind of like our version of like when we celebrate veterans? Is that what it is? Please let me know in the chat. Oh yes, it is for veterans. Okay, thank you so much, Annie Bullard. For veterans and for their service. Okay, thank you very much. Happy Memorial Day, everyone in the US. And what do you do for Memorial Day? Like, how do you give thanks, or how do you celebrate? Please let me know. I'd love to learn what other people do in other countries. Let's see who else is here. Sherry, hi Elaine. Hi, Denise, Sylvia. So presumably then maybe Harry and Meghan might pop up today and do something, maybe? Perhaps. It's still very early in Montecito, so I guess we'll see. Hi, Cookies and Cream. Hi, Emma, Angela. Rochelle's here. Bonnie, hi, Jane Commonwealther. Has anyone heard from Mrs. Oh, yes, she was having her treatment, right? I don't think I've actually seen her in a chat recently. No, I haven't. That's a very good point. We'll keep praying for her, everyone, and I'll put a message in the community tab and see if she responds. But thank you for reminding me, Sylvia. Hope she's okay. Hi, Kim Hamilton. Oh, hello, Paul Charles, and thank you so much for joining and being a Sussex supporter. Hi, Kim. Hi, Valerie. Nice to see you. All right. I think almost all the usuals are here. Let's see what you're saying. Oh, Annie, some of you have cookouts. That's nice. Picnics, games, and cooking. Suzuki, you're having a barbecue. Okay, so Harry's basically at the cookout today having his potato salad judged. That's what they're doing today. Andrew, after the podcast, I'm heading to a cemetery. Oh, that's amazing. Are you gonna lay the what do they call those things? The flower thing. What? Lots of food and barbecue and family. That's amazing. Barbecues everywhere. Flowers at gravesides and parades. Suzuki, Harry had a polo match today. Okay. All right. So I think almost everyone is here. Oh, the Archbishop has withdrawn from Jubilee celebrations. He has Mr. C and pneumonia. Really? Does he really? Or does he just not want to go? But thank you for that update, Elaine Parker. I did not know. I hadn't caught that news yet. So thank you. All right, let's get into it today. Yeah, these actually no, we'll start with something a little bit more positive. While people on this island were having high blood pressure and tantrums, actually I shouldn't say people, I should say the British press were having high blood pressure and tantrums, most of the other international, especially US press, were praising Meghan and reporting, or if not necessarily praising her, but just reporting fairly on her visit to the Texas memorial for the deceased children. And I didn't create this. This was someone on Sussex Squad Twitter who created this and put all of these amazing headlines together. And I always say, I don't expect everyone to fawn over Meghan and love Meghan and Harry. That's the job of my platforms as fan platforms to fawn over them. That is literally my job, because I am biased and I don't deny that I am biased. But the world press, journalists, or people who want to call themselves journalists, should be balanced and fair. And a fair opinion of what Meghan did was just that she went there as a mother, as an American, to not only pay her respects, but she did not go there empty-handed. She actually gave something. And so the tantrum throwing from the UK press has completely backfired. Beverly, you're saying that your screen and pictures are a bit hazy. Well, admittedly, some of these pictures, when they're screenshotted, sometimes they do lose a little bit of quality. But if you're having issues, you should go to there should be 3 dots in the corner of your screen, and you can change the quality of photos on the screen. If you're finding that they're a bit too hazy, it could be that your quality is too low, is set too low. Lynn, the British press went overboard and finally some people's eyes are opening. Yes, and there were people, so many people on Twitter, across the interverse, who weren't even squaddies, who are just going, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Why is the British press acting like this? It doesn't make any sense. And why are they turning what's a very sad moment into a circus? And you know, the trolls are not only trying to spread their lies, they're now trying to promote their lives with promoted tweets. This person tweeted, "Are you still doubting that Meghan Markle went on a self-serving PR trip?" And they promoted this tweet. So they actually put money behind this tweet. Who on earth is putting money behind lies? You mean to tell me that there are Cambridge fans who are paying to promote lies, not putting their money towards charitable organizations, but paying to promote lies about Meghan? FYI, all of those journalists in that photo were just there because they were covering the area. They didn't come there with Meghan or for Meghan. So I feel like this just adds to the conspiracy that's been running for some time, that some of the nefarious troll and bot activity could be coming from inside the palace. Because I've never seen this ever, actually, for anyone, for any fan base, good, bad, for, against, love, hate, tweet something like this and then put money behind it to promote it. I've never seen anything like this. And perhaps we should remind the derangers how their faves show up to do so-called community work in high heels and designer clothes with hair and makeup perfectly done. That was Catherine helping out with, I think that was like a mother's charity. And there is a royal photographer. That is an actual royal photographer there taking pictures of her. And she's looking not at her task, but at the photographers. So please don't tell me that Meghan showed up for PR, because the difference is clear. Right. Annie, Shutter Island tabloid media are looking real clownish around the world. Yes, they are. Very clownish. Paul Charles, they are jealous of the American press because the American press are better than the UK press. And they treat Happy and Meghan with respect. Oh, sorry, Harry and Meghan with respect. Yes. They're mad that they don't have the access. They don't have the access, and also they can't hold Harry and Meghan to anything because Harry and Meghan are now paying their own way. Andreen, they act like Meghan can't mingle with ordinary people. She's not stuck up like the elites. She's compassionate and doesn't pick and choose people of one class. Indeed. And I think this is also something else that they're very scared of, what Meghan and her ability to connect with, interact with normal people, what that could mean for them and what they're expected to do. Because this is not what they want. That they don't want to actually feel empathy for others, to feel the pain of others, to want to help heal others. They don't actually want to have to do this. They want to show up in high heels and pose for the cameras and then go home. Sylvia, Meghan said she just wanted things to be fair. If they are true journalists, of course the tabloid is built around propaganda, lies, and whatever else is bad for human conditions. Indeed. That's all you have to be as a journalist, is fair. But the tabloid trash papers in the UK are never going to be fair. It would be full of propaganda and sensationalism. But that is, I think, slowly becoming their downfall. And yes, Suzuki, they are 100% losing the narrative. Ah, is it Belushny? You are working and listening to podcasts. Amazing. Oh, by the way, guys and dolls, the reason the podcast moved is because my manicurist moved the appointment. So I think her daughter was ill and she was like, "Can you please come to my house at 7 this evening and I'll fit you in at 7 this evening instead." So that's why the podcast is a little bit earlier. Sorry. And I've been running around trying to pack for my trip. All right, so that is that. Kat Harlem, I saw that you have been a member for 2 months. I don't know why it's not coming up on. It's coming up on my phone, but not on the back end of Streamyard. But I did see that, and thank you very much, Kat Harlem. Paul Charles, how long do you think that Harry and Meghan will stay in the UK? 2 days or a week? My money's on 2 days. I don't see them being around for long. I think they're going to come to do whatever it is they need to do and go back home. And I'm assuming, only assuming, that they may want the Spencer family to see the little ones as well. All right. But yes, this was the these are the headlines over the weekend. And I get the feeling that this giblet Jubbly is not making the press as much money as they wanted it to. That's why you're seeing all of this hoorah in the papers. Thank you so much, Satonia Smith, for becoming a member. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, darling. Lottie G, are Harry and Meghan in the UK already? I don't think so. If I don't know, maybe Meghan might be. If she slipped in secretly, but from what I can see, Harry's still playing polo. All right, and yeah, I mean, this is meant to be the Queen's Jubilee, the Queen's, but all they can talk about is Harry and Meghan. It's on every single cover because we know who and what sells. Marina, Archie has to go back to school, so they might not stay long. That is true. That is so true. I mean, I know his grandmother's the queen, but little man has school. So to the UK and back home, so he can feed his chickens. But yeah, here are more photos coming out of the polo. Photos from different angles from the other day when they were posing with Meghan, and also photos from Nacho's Instagram. There were actually some really nice behind the scenes photos that I posted on the community tab. So go and check those out. It's just Harry backstage with his feet in the grass and just looking very, very relaxed. And you know, friends are family that you can choose. And I think that Harry has chosen a very good friend and brother in Nacho, and Nacho has been loyal to him. Paul Charles, I think William and Kate are jealous of Harry and Meghan for the lives they are living in the US and want to have a house like theirs in Santa Barbara. What? Because the 25 other regal estates paid for by the British taxpayer are just not enough for those two. But I do see your point. I mean, the Montecito Castle is absolutely stunning, and I can imagine those old stuffy castles are very drafty and probably have ghosts running around the halls. Kat Harlem, I think H&M will visit Spencer's, visit Diana's statue, Hub Kitchen, and Well Child. I think they will visit all of them except for Diana's statue. Maybe Diana's grave on the Spencer estate, but I don't think they'll visit like the. Are you talking about the new statue in the sunken garden, the sunken place? I don't think they'll visit that, but I agree with you on everything else. Right. So on to some other news. William was at, I am assuming, was some kind of rehearsal, and there was an army sergeant that claimed that his horse could have been drugged because of its behavior. You can see the way the head is dipping, and I've ridden horses before, and this is actually quite unusual behavior for a horse, to see it dipping like that. So I don't know if it's true. It is the Daily Fail, but it's interesting that the papers are painting William in such an unflattering way. You can see this picture here in the papers, definitely not flattering at all. And that they would make this such a big story so close to the Jubilee. I wonder if this is punishment for the fact that the papers have not been given the access that they want. Because as it stands, no one really knows 100% for sure when Harry and Meghan are coming, what they are doing, where they will be seen. And I'm wondering if they were promised to know, because the Daily Fail is in cahoots with Kensington Palace. So for them to paint William like this, there's going to be something going on. Thank you so much to Jackie Sussex Squad from the Netherlands for the super sticker. Much appreciated, darling. Carolyn, William may be jealous and want the house of Santa Barbara, but he doesn't want it with Kate. Well, there was some speculation that that might be the case. So there was an article that came out in the Daily Fail, and it said that Prince William and Harry are holding video calls and are very much back on their own buddy terms ahead of the Queen's reunion and Jubilee celebrations. Now, I 100% believe that this is a lie. I think that this is a desperate attempt from Kensington Palace and from William's camp to try and cover their backs as much as possible going into the Jubbly, because the last we heard about Harry and William's relationship from the horse's mouth himself, from Harry, was that there was space. And we haven't heard anything from him since. So I don't know how they can suddenly be holding weekly video calls and trying to patch things up. Because it was, as we know, Jason Knopf, William and Kate's former communications secretary, who handed the courts text messages and emails in order to sabotage Meghan's copyright case with the Daily Fail. So, given that we haven't heard about any result regarding that, I'm going to assume that we are still where Harry told us we were, and that there is space between the two. What was more interesting about this article was this particular piece, where it said, "He sees that Meghan is a good mother and loyal wife, and he's genuinely pleased for his brother. It seems like the two of them have healed the rift and are very much back on their old buddy terms. Meghan's distance from Kate has also helped heal the friction bet the two men." I think that was probably meant to be between the two men. The preview became that Kate made her cry during a bridesmaid fitting for her 2018 wedding and has not spoken to her since quitting royal duties 2 years ago. So some people were taking this as William possibly leaking to the press, and that Catherine, you could be in danger girl. Because in fact, today there was a picture of William and um who was it now? The Tyndalls at a horse show. And yes, it was he was with Mike Tyndall at a horse show. And someone pointed out that the horse show was apparently at Rose's estate. So, you know, it's again, I can only say, but some people are reading into this that perhaps he could be slowly trying to phase out Kate. I think only time will tell, but I think it goes without saying that there is clearly something wrong in the Cambridge marriage. Let's go to your comments. Lynn, I wouldn't put it past him to order that horse to be doped. Well, it was said during his polo days that he wasn't the best horseman or player. So, Maggie, a good quarter horse is trained to keep its head down. See, all the horses are that way. Well, his looked a little bit more droopy than the others, don't you think? Well, I noticed that anyway, but that's interesting observation if that's the case, Maggie. Yes, Flo. Even the horses hate him. Black Queen probably did drug the horse so the horse wouldn't kick that trash off his back. Animals can sense good and bad energy. I agree. Phoebe, as bad as the press here is in America, I haven't known them for literally hunting people down. I think there have been very like individual cases, but as a whole, I wouldn't say the US media is like that. And it's very specific types of media, like TMZ. They literally hunt people down, or like X17. What's the other one that's similar? Like Storm something? Like when they hunted Britney down. So it's very specific outlets that do it. It's not a whole culture. I agree with you there. TP, what's up with Prince William's pictures? And it seems like don't want to participate. Mean face of him. I think they just picked an unflattering picture. But I don't know how flattering you can look with a giant dead bear on your head. So... yeah, Rahini, I think the horses just don't like him. Paul Charles, I think Willie is realizing he needs Harry and Meghan now more than ever. Oh, well, I think it's just too late now. And I don't know if there's anything that can really salvage William at this point because he's had so much time to become his own person, and that just hasn't happened. Valerie, do you think that Dan Wooten is working for William? Nothing would surprise me, is my honest answer to that question. Nothing would surprise me. Because we know that Jason Loft was, and that the calls were coming from inside the house. Poor Charles. I think Kate always wanted to be with Harry, and Kate's mom wanted her to be married to William. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that because because I think that Kate had a desire to be queen. So why would she want to be with Harry? But yeah. Some things are just unforgivable. It will take a lot of time to even feel comfortable around each other. Yeah. I don't know with everything that's gone on if I could personally ever feel comfortable or trust again. Because Harry and Meghan's lives, especially concerning this whole security thing, were literally put at risk and continue to be put at risk. And that alone tells me that this institution, because they're not a family, doesn't care about their safety or well-being. So, when someone shows you who they are, you got to believe them. And what the royal institution has shown is that they don't care about the safety or well-being of Harry and Meghan and their children. Caroline Tubbs, I may be wrong, but I'm convinced William made a pass at Meghan looking at that picture where he's basically licking his lips and looking at her, and Harry is pissed. I don't believe they're even talking. Interesting that you brought that up, Caroline, because so I was on Twitter the other day and I asked Squaddies, does anybody have the full video of that picture where that still was taken from? And when you actually watch the video, it's actually not as it's actually not as bad as what it looks when you watch the video. It just so happens that in that very moment where that still is taken, Harry's face is a particular way, William's face is a particular way, and Meghan's face is a particular way, and they're all kind of angled. But when you actually watch it, what I see in the video, it looks more like William is ignoring Meghan than looking at her in like he's desiring her. That's just what I got watching the video. It looks more like he's actually, so it still looks bad, but not as bad as I think you would think it looks if you're just looking at that still. And he's definitely not licking his lips at her. But you can go on Twitter and watch that full clip, and that's just what I saw looking at it. Thank you so much, Sonia. I hope you're having a great day as well. Vivica, TMZ was bought by Murdoch, hence the negative H&M coverage, indeed. Rahini, I feel if there are video calls, it was for Archie to talk to his cousins. Perhaps. I wonder actually to what extent the children even talk to each other. Jane Commonwealth and Meghan did say she made a mistake in trusting them, indeed. And so do we think that should make that mistake again? Yes, hi to everyone entering the chat who we have missed. Paul, I see Andrew trying to make an appearance back into the royal family. Well, as far as I know, he is invited to other events, just not on the balcony. But okay, moving on from that, because I have to be out of the door in exactly 20 minutes. So there was a comedian who's claiming that she was censored before appearing on Piers Morgan's show. So Kate is it Smurthwaite claims she was censored. Speaking to the Mirror about the show's producers, Kate said, "They were looking forward to having me on. The only thing was they'd like me to not mention a couple of things I had said in our earlier conversation." Kate said that this was about how she felt Piers spent too much time commenting on every move of Meghan. She continued, "They didn't want me criticizing or seeking to explain his vindictive obsession with her." The comedian and activist has claimed that she was not allowed to challenge his obsession, and that the producers warned her that certain things were off the agenda. And then she then went on to say, "This makes Piers's interest in free speech appear purely hypocritical in my view. If, as he has subsequently claimed on Twitter, there was no effort to censor me, his producers would not have warned me beforehand to not get too personal with Piers when discussing the topic of Meghan." And we all know what happens when you get too personal with discussing the topic of Meghan and you remind Piers what a psychotic lunatic he looks like. He literally storms off. And that's what happened when he was on Good Morning Britain. He does not like being challenged about it. And I feel like now everybody's sick of it. I think even his own followers are sick of it. So sick of it that they would not watch his show. So now he's gone off for 6 weeks to go on a holiday or talk to serial killers, whatever it is he's doing. So yes, that is Piers Moron. Also on this side of the pond, Bojo, yeah, this guy, our prime minister, he announced that imperial measurements were to be revived as a bonfire of EU as part of a bonfire of EU regulations. There was also another story where they claimed, I think it was the Daily Fail that were claiming that the EU was banning Britain from putting crowns on pub glasses. Just the most ridiculous, irrelevant. Why are we talking about this when people are starving and cannot heat their homes? Nonsense that I have seen. It's almost as if they just want to throw anything and everything at the wall to distract. We know that there was a report that came out that made the government and people within the party look bad. I think it was pertaining to the lockdown party. So I'm sure this is also part of a distraction. But like, what is the point of this? I'd like to know what percentage of the British population was even educated using imperial measurements. Oi. And of course, most people in industry were saying, well, what's the point of this? This is completely and utterly pointless. I mean, what else are they going to bring back? Roman numerals? Should we start talking in Latin as well? Rachel's son, one of the main haters, had the nerve to complain about backlash she was receiving on Twitter. Most from Americans amazed at hatred Meghan received for visiting. Oh, yes. They were shocked, I tell you, that they tried to turn a simple, heartfelt visit into a circus. Lynn, thank you for the Sausage Squad for supporting Harry and Meghan and bringing attention to the nefarious royals. Well, somebody has to do it. Somebody has had to push back against the lies, and we're most thankful to the likes of Tina and Michelle at Sausage Squad Podcast, V, Meghanpedia, Meghan's World, all of the OGs who walked so the rest of us could run. Lane Parker, I don't see there being any video calls. Neither do I. If there were video calls, I guarantee you we would have gotten leaked by now. And that's how I know there's none. Yeah, Alita, I don't believe there's any. S says it's not Rose's estate, it's her husband's. She's still married to him. Well, her estate via marriage. And what was interesting is that Kate wasn't there. So William and Mike Tyndall were there at that horse show at their estate. And Kate wasn't there. Well, traveler, enjoy my trip. Well, thank you very much. You are all coming with me. I will still be podcasting, and I will also be filming while I'm there. So, if you actually want to watch some of my vlogging videos while I'm there, I will link to that once some of them are up, and you can also follow me on. I have a personal Instagram, guys and dolls. But I'll let you know all about that when I've landed. Paul Charles, I see that no royal family member didn't say anything about the Texas shooting, but Sussexes have. That shows who they are. True and lovable royals. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't actually expect them to say anything about it, just because it's, the gun debate in the US is such a hot debate. So it's not something that I would expect them to say anything about, and it's something that Meghan, as an American, should have the right to engage in. But I don't expect anything from the British royals about this, if I'm honest. Vanessa Jones, is it true that Miss Doria is going with Harry, Meghan, and the children to the UK? I've heard absolutely no confirmation from the Sussex camp. She was not mentioned in the official statement from the Sussex camp that said that the Sussexes were going. So my assumption, unless I see her, is going to be no. I did notice a little bit of bunting up my road. I'm noticing it a little bit more now, but given that I live in a conservative constituency, I was expecting a little bit more. So there's a couple houses dotted here or there, but it's mostly just in central London. As Chris said, and I really do agree with her on this on Twitter, sometime during Jubbly, we are going to learn exactly what Queen Elizabeth's service is. People starving, no help. Corrupt government, no help. Eroding civil liberties, no help. Media that's more like a criminal enterprise, no help. Alleged pedo son opens wallet. And the Queen has actually done more in the last year to help Andrew than she has in her whole reign to help her country. And I don't know what it's going to take for royalists to get over this ridiculous notion that someone literally sitting there and doing and saying nothing and other than give speeches and wave is somehow service. 12 million can go a long way in communities that need it. And she chose to give that money to her nonce son. So these people pick and choose when they want to help and how they want to help. And they certainly don't help the working class people of Britain who are paying, if the figures are true, close to £1 billion for this Jubbly, but are struggling to maintain their livelihoods. Catherine, you really can't pick a flattering picture of William. His place is auto floor, like my dad used to say. Oh gosh. Well, when you're ugly on the inside, it shows on the outside. Yes, Marina, imperial measurements. Like, why? What is this for? Yes, Paul, there are no leaks from Montecito. Right. Oh, I just saw a comment from. Oh dear. Maggie, Daughters of Success has a fantastic Instagram account. I check it every day to find out the most recent goings on and some other funny stuff. Thank you. But also, you can if you just want Harry and Meghan news, go to the Duchess of Success official account because I don't really post anything about Harry and Meghan on my personal account. You see, when the world needs to realize, although America is divided, Americans will come together if we feel our country's citizens are being attacked. 100%, I agree with that. And I think that's something that the British tabloids did not count on because they've created a culture of eating your own. All right. Just to wrap up, let's get through the last slides quickly. Yes, the troll half sister was on Good Morning Britain today because apparently there's nothing else happening in our country. And so they decided to have her on. What was so funny about her appearance was that she just could not get her story straight. So the interviewer actually challenged her and said that your father was planning on coming over to the UK and creating a situation where he confronted Harry and Meghan face to face with a camera crew. And Samantha responded by saying, that is not true. And the interviewer then responded by saying, no, that is true. That is what your father said to Tom Bower. To which Samantha responded, oh, I didn't know about that. So this messy family, the Markles, need to get their stories straight because they're clearly working together to get whatever crumbs, peanuts, and pennies that they can get, but they can't seem to keep up with each other's lies. Apparently, Thomas Markle has left the hospital, and he won't be able to speak for some time. We'll see if that changes depending on how much money the tabloids offer him. But as far as we know, he's left the hospital. He's unable to speak for now. Also, Kevin Spacey was charged in the United Kingdom with 4 counts of assault against 3 men. The Crown Prosecution Service has revealed, and we know what type of people the royals like to award, and here he is getting an award from Charles. So it just seems like there is a long line of messy individuals, to put it nicely, associated with this family. And Kevin Spacey was also famously photographed with Ghislaine Maxwell on a throne, on the Queen's throne, inside of the palace. That's how much access this individual had, and this is why. And I don't know. I mean, Kevin Spacey, is he even British? I mean, I know that they give awards to no, he's American. I know that they give awards occasionally to Americans, but let me just check. Why would he have been given an award? He has a KBE. What on earth is a KBE? Hmm. It is a knight. A knight commander. Jesus Christ. They just come up with anything, don't they? But yes. All right. Let's wrap things. That's pretty much all I had to say. So let's wrap things up with your comments and then we'll call it a day. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming as always. Thank you, everyone, for your super stickers. Welcome, new members. You are awesome. And I wish you all a lovely day. I will probably do a podcast tomorrow as well, but don't expect one on Wednesday because I'm traveling that day. If I do one, it'll be a miracle. Unless like something really big has to happen because I will probably be very tired. My point of view, I've been having the time of my life on Twitter with the Brits and their pettiness. I kick the piss out of some and block others gleefully. Yeah, sometimes you do have to block. Oh, thank you so much for the mods, for getting rid of the idiots. Yes, as always, you do a great job. Peace lover, and remember the receipt of the payout can speak after the Jubbly. The final amount may be much more. Yes. I mean, the last Jubbly was over 800,000. So, I mean, if you adjust that for inflation, you're coming into the billions. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what that number is. Benjamin, did she restore his HR rate or wants to? What you mean, Andrews? Not that I'm aware of. Yes, Benjamin, that was a mighty quick stroke. And it was meant to have been a major stroke. I know 2 people in my family who have had major strokes and both died. So Thomas Markle must have been a cat in his last life and has 9 lives. And many people who are actually nurses on Twitter pointed out that there was something very strange about this whole thing. Agnes, why is the British media still playing this pathetic game with this crazy family? It's getting so predictable and boring. I honestly just believe that this Jubbly has not generated the interest that they thought it would. I think that if it wasn't for all of the economic issues, political issues, social issues that are going on in Britain right now, people would be a lot more excited. But just walking around, honestly, like I don't see a great deal of excitement or pomp in preparation for this. I'm sure people will show up on the day, but I don't know if it would be what it would have if everything that's going on wasn't going on. So it's just gonna be interesting to see how this all plays out. Yeah, Night to Night. Meghan's dad is out already, no rehabilitation. Very odd, isn't it? Thank you so much, Valerie. I'll try and bring you all along with me as much as I can. Yeah, Gwendolyn, I can't wait for this Jubbly to be over either. I'm stressed. Marina, where am I going? You'll find out when I'm there. I will let you know. But if you're following me on Instagram, you should know you'll know. Just don't want any evil ears cursing my trip before I get on that plane. All Facts and Two Cents is live. Okay, Facts and Two Cents is live, so I'm absolutely going to end it right now. Thank you everyone for coming and watching. Go over to Facts and Two Cents then, and have a fantastic day, everyone. Bye.